Hey everyone, we are excited to be here today with Cynthia Roberts from the Dental Advocacy Group, also known as DAG. Easier for me to remember and reference Cynthia and her team. We're really excited that they are new partners of ours in the partner program here at Dentist Advisors, and excited to talk with Cynthia today about Dental Advocacy Group, working with you in as confusing as insurance can be, and getting paid for it, and how to utilize and work with the advocacy group. We're excited to have Cynthia talk with us about her business, their business, and what they see inside the industry today, and how you can reach out and touch base with their team. So Cynthia, so good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to sincerely thank Dentist Advisors for hosting today's conversation and creating this opportunity because, I mean, it's so important for dentists to have access to real fi- practical education, especially when it comes to topics like insurance and the overall practice profitability. That those aren't always talked about openly, and so I'm excited to be here today and to share some insights, and I hope will make a real difference. And I'm grateful to you guys for giving DAG this platform to connect.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining, and we're excited to learn. So we'll let you take it from here
Sure.
and lead.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I am Cynthia Roberts.
Mhm.
I'm the VP of Dental 360. It's a KPI Analytics division of Dental Advocacy Group. Before actually joining DAG, is what we like to call it, because advocacy is really kind of a hard word to say. It doesn't roll off the tongue very easily, but DAG does. But before joining DAG in 2021, I spent years working inside dental practices, managing operations, leading teams, from private practices all the way up to DSOs. And like so many others in that dental field, I focused every day on patients and the practice success. But honestly, I had no idea how intricate and strategic the insurance business really was. And then once I joined DAG, I mean, my eyes were opened because I realized how much the insurance contracts, the fine print most of us never read, directly impacts the profitability of a practice, the growth potential, and even that long-term stability. So it's been a learning curve, for sure. But what DAG does, it's pretty simple. We help dentists maximize reimbursements. We simplify the insurance participation without direct negotiation stress, and we advocate for the practices and not for the insurance companies. And one of the things that we know is a challenge is, what we hear all the time is my fee schedules are terrible in our practice. And for us, our mission has always been to help the profitability of a dental practice through their insurance reimbursements. And, with the insurance companies causing this pennies for profit environment, most of these doctors are feeling like there's not a solution, there's not a resource. But before we get into all of that, I mean, we can talk about, what I always want to make sure that dentists are aware of is why insurance contracts actually matter, and kind of get into a little bit of what what makes up this big piece of the dental practice's income. We good with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
So we know with most dentists don't realize they are bound by the contracts that are, again, they're severely underpaid. They lease their fees out to other networks. that we call silent PPOs.
Mm.
It creates this layer of bureaucracy that delays payment and lower profitability. And the dental insurance contracts are strategic documents, and they're not just paperwork you sign and you forget about it. Like, so for example, the wrong contract can cost you tens and thousands a year, and you wouldn't even see it happening on your day-to-day schedule. So you take, like, example, dentist A and dentist B, and they both do the same crown. Same crown. Dentist A gets paid $800, but dentist B, because of poor network contracts, he gets paid $600 for the exact same work, which is
Mhm.
crazy because it's all in the negotiated fees. So, and I'm sure everyone would agree that, a $600 crown, you're not making any profit on a $600 crown. You're
Right.
giving away dentistry at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, is that some, I would say, Cynthia, are nervous about what their fee schedule is, or or how to go about getting it back, or how to increase, or, and just I would just say the overall transparency or education for each practice is something that we need to hone in on.
Yeah. And what we do is, in our initial conversations with the practice, I mean, our first thing is we listen to, what are the pain points, what are the challenges, and try to really understand, what's happening, when it comes to the insurance part of it. And we'll do an analysis on the current fee schedule. So what we're trying to do is show, what is it costing you to do business with each one of these insurance payers. So we do a deep dive analysis, and take, your top 80 codes and all of your fee schedules and put it in a spreadsheet. So that way you can have information that you can make strategic decisions on. Because I think a lot of times that what happens, it's out of sight, out of mind. And when we put it down on a piece of paper, and you see that you're writing off, 55%, it puts it in perspective that, wow, I really do need to make some changes. And
Yeah.
who can survive on writing off, 40,
Yeah.
50%?
Yes.
That's great. That's crazy, but it happens, and I know that most dentists feel like, well, it's just what I have,
Is
right? What
what
can
it
I
is,
do
right?
wrong?
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So, what kind of sets us apart, and how we help is, first and foremost, we are not negotiators. And I think everyone, when they first think of, how do we help with insurance fee schedules, they think, well, we go and negotiate. And we don't have to go to each individual insurance company and say, oh, mother, can we please have an increase, right? We already have the pre negotiated fee schedules across most major payers.
Mm.
So that's a game changer.
That's a
So again, right, we're not having to ask permission. We already have a more favorable fee schedule. And what we do with that is we consolidate a practice's participation under that one enhanced stronger fee schedule. And
Yeah.
then we eliminate the need for them to chase each PPO individually. We don't have to do that. And then we help maintain the in-network status while dramatically improving their overall reimbursement. So the big advantage is we don't have to go back and forth. There's no delay.
Yeah.
And the doctor has immediate access to better fee schedules once they're enrolled.
Mm.
And then we help strategically with the credentialing guidance, as well. So, and stop the network sharing happening in the practice.
Yeah.
So instead of begging insurance companies for crumbs, you get to join a table where the deal has already been made, in a dentist's favor.
Mm. That's a really good point.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a great point. I would appreciate in my practice to have the fees, already. I mentioned the transparency before, but I would not want someone that I hired playing the mother may I game.
Right.
So,
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, back we're advocates for the practice owner. So we don't have an interest with the dental insurance companies. We're not working for them. So we're working for the dentist. So
mm,
um, you know, uh, it changes the dynamics when we're coming at it from a place of our client is the practice. We're not representing an insurance company, but going back to, when I was talking in the beginning to understand your contracts, why knowing your contract is essential is when we talk about network sharing, this happens so much, Spencer, in practices that are more heavy PPO practices that what and it's unknowing to the dentist when they actually sign that contract that they are giving consent to the insurance company to lease out to other payers. So what happens is they have affiliates, and those affiliates they can access other fee schedules. So a dentist who thinks that it might be contracted just with Aetna will soon find out they'll send a claim and a claim will come back and it may have, a different payer fee schedule. And they're like, this isn't my Aetna fees. So Aetna has language in their contract that says we're allowed to lease out. And then what we get to do is look at that ADA code, funnel it to find the lowest paying fee, and that's what you're going to get paid on,
yep,
which is it's so it's terrible. It's just this and like I said, and most dentists don't even realize that in their contract they're allowing that to happen. So we go in, we identify the network sharing that goes on in a practice, and
mm,
it's crazy how the tentacles can go so deep. You may have one payer that has 4 different avenues of network sharing. So you can clear out one, well, here's another one that just will pop up. You clear out that one, here comes another one that pops up. So it can be very daunting, a daunting task. And if you don't know how to navigate that, you just feel like, well, it is what it is, right? So we will help identify that, but more importantly, we eliminate it from happening in a practice.
got it.
So again, consolidating everything onto that one fee schedule where you know exactly what you're going to get paid and it has more predictability in
Mm,
your practice.
yeah,
So it goes back. I mean, the 3 things you should know is what fee schedules you are truly attached to, which companies lease your contract, and, where you have leverage to improve that participation strategy.
yeah,
And I'm sure you've probably heard these conversations.
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And those three, I think you outlined really well, Cynthia, that every practice owner should know going into it. Like, okay, these are my top three. Here's what we need to review with our contact being DAG, and go from there. I like the outline.
Yeah. Yeah, I think listen, knowledge isn't just power. In this case, it's profit protection, you know, and, um, you know, we don't, and I think for a lot of dentists in the conversations I've had, they feel like, oh my gosh, I should have known this. And I'm like, I understand that, but you're really focused on patient care, which is where you should be focused. But, you know, we underestimate, though, the insurance side of business and
Mhm.
how they operate. And it's, and we feel like we need them. We need the insurance. It's part of attracting new patients. It's part, it's part of the overall health of the practice. But at the same time, we don't have to be uh, there is a solution that we don't have to take those incredibly low fees. It should be a win-win for the practice, a
Yeah,
win for the patient, and a win for the dentist as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah, so, w I can give samples of the, how we've helped uh, dentists over the years. Most importantly, it really is helping them to consolidate from many contracts to try to get it down to less than five. That's ideal. You want less than five in your practice. We can consolidate a lot of those payers just onto that one fee
Mm,
schedule. Um, and our increase can be anywhere from 15 to 30%, depending
yeah,
on, what was currently in the practice, and which is why we do the analysis to show, okay, what is the potential here and what is the ROI, because we really want it to be transparent for the client.
got it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, this has been super helpful, Cynthia. Um, it's I there's a method to the madness inside of insurance and making sure that the practices are being paid. There's
Mhm.
there's a model, I should say, which would sound much better. Um, Anything else to share as our listeners are like, I need help here and I'm struggling here. Um, I will provide the introductions on how to get in touch with the advocacy group and with Cynthia. But Cynthia, how about from you? Anything else to add as we go to?
Yeah, I would just say, we've talked about the dentist who's on PPOs, but it could also be if you're seeing, you're not seeing the traction of new patients. You could be a fee for service practice and you're seeing more holes in your schedule. This might be an avenue you would like to look into, because we know that it's the fees that a lot of times deter doctors from signing up. I get also they don't want to be dictated how they do dentistry, but and that's a whole different topic. But if you're a fee for service practice and you are looking for new patients, or you do see holes on your schedule, or you're looking to grow and bring in an associate, this is a really good avenue as well. And even for large group practices, too, that it's all about scalability. So, one of the things that we work with a lot of multi-location practices, it's consolidating all of those onto the same contracts, which to me simplifies the administration in a DSO. Plus, it helps with all of us handling the credentialing too. So there's different scenarios of why someone might want to reach out to us. But I just say, listen, just find us, reach out, let us do the analysis for you. It's complimentary.
Mhm.
Again, it's a wealth of knowledge that you get through that analysis, and it actually will give you the story, without us telling you anything. It's going to give you the story in black and white and numbers, and we use your actual data. So yeah, I think it's a good solution for many different practices.
Yeah, I agree, Cynthia. We would encourage the consultation as well, and just to get to know Cynthia and her team. So for those checking this out, you're watching this on our private Facebook page. You're also perhaps watching this on our Dentist Advisors page. Allow us to make an introduction to Cynthia and her team, schedule a consultation. And we look forward to a lot more content and information from Cynthia and her team in the future. Cynthia will also be at our summit this June, so be able to meet her and get to know her better. So Cynthia, thanks so much for your time, and so good to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was fun.
So good.